I'm Frank Marcus with Motor Trend, and I've come to Shanghai, China to answer the question, has China finally built a legitimate Maybach contender? Now, the car in question is this Neo ET9. Now, you just look at it, it's a big, giant luxury car. It's almost as long as a Maybach. It's definitely longer than an S-Class or a 7 Series. And the difference with the Maybach is mostly in the back. The center where the customers ride is equally big. This is an electric car, which means that the powertrain is all out of the way. It's all-wheel drive, a lot of other little fun things. You'll notice the little Neo emblems are right side up, just like on a Rolls Royce. They stay that way as you drive down the road. Now, Americans can be forgiven for not knowing about any Chinese brands. We're doing our level best to keep them out of the US. Neo was founded in November of 2014. So 11 years later, they're swinging for the Maybach. That's pretty impressive. They are on a prestige level in China, kind of in the Mercedes Audi area. But actually, I like to think of them as kind of like China's Tesla. They, first of all electric cars now. They build their own motors like Tesla did. They have 10 or 11,000 engineers working for Neo, 70% of which are in software, very much like Tesla. These guys were using 4 NVIDIA chips to run all of the ADAS systems. They decided those burned a lot of wattage and cut down the range, so they designed their own chip, also like Tesla. Design-wise, the Neo ET9 is very un-Maybach. It's a very modern, sporty-looking front end with daytime running lights down here, matrix LED lights here, which can draw things on the road. They can put a crosswalk, and they can show you which way to go. As we walk around the car, obviously it's got this very different, kind of a hatchback profile, although it's not a hatchback. It has a normal trunk. It has a really long rear door. That really speaks to luxury. So you come back around here, and I personally find a little bit of first generation Panamera. We come back and we close with a big cross-car light beam, and naturally there's welcome lighting and exit lighting and so forth. There is, like I say, a trunk, not a hatchback, a big roomy trunk in there. Luxury cars need a long front hood, and with an electric one, why not put a giant trunk in here? Naturally, the Neo ET9 has 4 electric doors, but this one is smart enough that if I'm walking up from the front of the car, it waits till I get by, and then it opens the door automatically. I don't know that anyone else does that. If I walk up from the back, it opens before I get there. That's the kind of smart little ideas that they've worked out throughout this whole car. So the Neo ET9 has the size, the gravitas, the tech, and the features to dice with Maybach. Now all I gotta do is go out and drive and see if it competes in the real world. We're taking a moment to enjoy the sound system here. This sound system is quite a bit of the story here. I think it's 35 speakers. They call it 8.2.4.8, which means 8 channels and 2 subwoofers and 4 surround sound upper speakers for the Dolby Atmos and 8 headrest speakers. The seat is incredibly comfortable. It's a 14-layer seat, front and rear. It's got this amazing massage program that can be programmed to do Chinese massage, Thai massage, Swedish massage, hot stone massage. It is very quiet in here, partly because of all the flush glass and the low drag coefficient and so forth, and also perhaps because the speakers are canceling out some noise. This is the first car to employ the new ClearMotion suspension system, which Neo is calling Skyride. And it is an active suspension. It has little hydraulic pumps at each corner so that when you start to hit a bump, it can immediately pull the wheel up over the bump and or press it back down on the other side. They have great video footage of driving over little speed bumps with an array of champagne glasses on the hood that are not spilling. With all that preamble and having watched those, I was expecting not to feel the road at all, and that is not the case. I am aware when we hit bumps, but they are very smooth. One of the other big firsts on this car is the first certified electric power steering by wire. This is a by-wire steering. It's a small steering wheel, kind of like you have on the Cybertruck. I've driven the Cybertruck. I think this one feels a little more natural. Another thing we're not in any real position to evaluate is the user interface, because this one's still all in Chinese. It's going to be sold in the European market, and so other languages will come. Most everything controlled by this one big screen, a menu bar across the bottom with frequently used items down there. I'm also looking at a large, very bright head-up display, and even that has some innovation to it. Instead of a plastic or glass lens on the top of the unit that's down in the dash, this one uses a sapphire lens. This car was designed to be China's answer to the Maybach, and so not surprisingly, it is built to Chinese preferences, which is to say a little bit more ride comfort and plushness over overt sportiness, which is fine. And I think especially in a luxury car, that is a commendable goal. Curiously, the ET9 does not offer one-pedal driving. I have also noticed that they must be paying Mercedes a royalty, because I believe the feature where you get auto hold automatically when you press your foot hard on the brake, I think that's a patent that's still valid at Mercedes, and that's a feature I really, really like, and it works here. We have had a few opportunities to try out the 697 horsepower rear biased. There's quite a bit more power and torque in the rear than the front. Still, it's a heavy car. It's much more important to be able to drive a car like this without spilling a martini sitting on the tray table in the back. And so far, it feels like you could probably do that. I did sample the modes. We have normal and VIP and eco and sport. And sport definitely makes all of the pedal inputs a lot more aggressive, and eco dulls them by a similar amount. All right, so I have just been instructed to park in front of the swapping stations. This is fully automatic steering and accelerator and brake actuation.
会有一点点噪音和车身起伏，不过别紧张，有我在。
She's just warned me that the battery swap is about to begin, that there will be a little bit of noise and body undulations, but don't be nervous, I'm here. And by the way, our battery is showing 87%. No one would usually swap at this point, but if they did, like if they got one in that was 40% or whatever, they would get credit for the difference. I'm hearing what sounds like the screws probably undoing. Now I can feel the body going up. We're positioning the new battery into place, and it has now connected the new battery, which is now showing 91% and 567 kilometers of range. And what was the total elapsed time on that? 3 or 4 minutes? 3 minutes. All right, we've just spent a day with the NIO ET9, and what a great introduction to the NIO brand. I still say this is China's Tesla. Where Tesla set up superchargers all over the US and China, these guys set up battery swapping stations. They have most of their engineering people do software, just like Tesla. It's kind of the reverse at just about every other car company. The question we came here to answer is, has China invented a new or better Maybach? Well, in every objective manner, great power, great comfort, great giant interior, soft, wonderful seats, quiet, best sound system, massaging seats, you name it. All that stuff nailed. On the subjective stuff, this is not the face of a traditional luxury car. We just, at the end of our drive, were followed by a Maybach, and in the rearview mirror you see that impressive grille. And I think there's a lot of people in that market that really like that sort of thing. This is very modern, very sporty. The fastback design, also very sporty. I do know that at $108,000 to start and $113,000 as you see it here, it's an amazing value. And that will become even more so when all that stuff on the roof comes in and we start getting full autonomy going. So will the NIO ET9 appeal to the traditional Maybach type buyer? It's hard to say. I can tell you that as a tech-forward, modernist sort of person myself, I would love to own one of these. Sadly, that doesn't appear to be in the cards for any American anytime soon. For the full story on this and the other NIOs we'll be driving this week, stop by MotorTrend.com.